During the evening of November 10th, Eddie Rickenbacker, America's top ace and the victor of 26 combats, was briefing his assembled pilots on the following day's mission when the telephone rang and a hysterical voice shouted in his ear that the war would end at 11 o'clock the following morning. All patrols were to be canceled, and within minutes, the exuberant pilots of Uncle Sam's Hat in the Ring Squadron had bottles out and a huge bonfire roaring in front of the hangars as the last party of the war began. As morning broke enshrouded in fog, orders came down from above that all machines should stay grounded, but at 10 a.m., Rickenbacker strolled out to the hangars and told his mechanics to prepare his Spad for one more flight. 45 minutes later, he was over no man's land, and then finally over the German positions. Not another plane was in the air, and Rickenbacker found it eerie until he saw a brief spurt of flame from down below that signaled someone was shooting at him. He would later find a single bullet hole in his Spad from these last few minutes of the war. Rickenbacker glanced at his watch and then counted down the last minute until 11 a.m. arrived. On cue, men began to spill from the trenches and into no man's land. Slowly, cautiously at first, the soldiers of both sides approached each other. And then it happened. Weapons were flung aside and helmets tossed into the air with a roar as one-time enemies came together and were suddenly hugging and slapping one another on the backs. Flying further north towards the French sector, Rickenbacker found the scene even more incredible. After the most bitter 4.5 years imaginable to mankind, enemy soldiers were kissing each other on both cheeks. Eddie Rickenbacker turned his Spad back towards his home field. The war was over.